Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? This is Profesor Pablo with grammar lesson number 56. Superlatives. How do we form superlatives? Like the tallest, the most intelligent, the prettiest, the heaviest, the lightest. Okay? The formula is we take the definite article, el, la, los, or las, and we take our buddy, the word mas, and then our adjective. Point number one, in English, this is the est adjective ending, like tallest, smartest, prettiest. Point two, adjectives must agree in number and gender with the noun they modify. We know that for sure. Point three, use a day phrase to say that something or someone is the best of a group. Examples, the prettiest, la más bonita, the prettiest. Let's say there's 6 ladies, beautiful ladies in their 50s standing around, and Mary's really pretty, and say, Mary es la más bonita. But Sofia Vergara just walks up and joins the group, and now you say, Sofia Vergara es la más bonita. Los más inteligentes, the smartest. Esteban y María son los más inteligentes. Esteban and Maria are the smartest, the most intelligent, right? The smartest. If you want to say the most expensive house, right? La casa más cara. La casa más cara. La más cara would be the most expensive one. La más cara. The least expensive would be la menos cara. So you can see how this works. If I want to say the tallest, and we're talking about a group of boys, el más alto. If I want to say the tallest, referring to a girl or a group of girls, I would say la más alta. Let's say we're talking about sprinters, world-class Olympic sprinters. You want to say the fastest one, el más rápido. For a lady, it would be la más rápida. Let's say you're talking about something big and you want to say, you're referring to buildings, and you want to say the biggest would be el más grande. The biggest plural would be los más grandes if you're talking about edificios. So it's either el más, la más, los más, or las más plus your adjective, and make your adjective agree. Like you're talking about girls talking about boys and they want to say the cutest guy, it would be el más guapo. If they're referring to girls, the cutest, like the cutest girl, la más guapa. If you're talking about the states in the United States, you want to say the smallest, it would be el más pequeño. The smallest states, the smallest ones, los más pequeños. You see, pequeños is plural because we're referring to states, estados. We're watching the Olympics again, and they have a weightlifting competition, and it's ladies, and you say, wow, the strongest, la más fuerte de las mujeres, the strongest of the women, la más fuerte. The strongest of the guys would be el más fuerte. The strongest of all of them would be los más fuertes. If you're talking just about girls, the strongest would be las más fuertes. Let's say you're talking about states, and which is the coldest state in the United States, you'd say el más frío, the coldest one, el más frío. Even if someone is, and this happens, someone's buying a soda and they want a real cold one, or somebody wants a real cold beer, you would say la más fría, because cerveza is feminine and soda is feminine. La más fría. You want 2 bottles? Las más frías, the coldest. So again, that's how we form the superlative. We take the definite article, el, la, los, or las, then we take mas, and then we take our adjective that is agreeing with whatever it is we're talking about. It's a 3-step process. Okay, let's look at some exceptions. If you want to say the best, and it's a guy, it'd be el mejor. If it's a girl, it's la mejor. Now, plural of that would be los mejores or las mejores. Let's say you're talking about the Oscar for the best picture. You'd say la mejor. La mejor película would be the best movie. La mejor just simply would be the best one. Las mejores would be the best. Las mejores películas, the best movies, plural. For older, we know mayor is older. So if you want to say the oldest, it would be el mayor or la mayor. If you are the oldest sibling and you're a girl, you'd say, yo soy la mayor de la familia. I'm the oldest in the family. Yo soy la mayor de la familia, de los niños. Yo soy la mayor. He's the oldest. Stephen is the oldest. Esteban es el mayor. Now the plural of mayor, how do you make a word plural? If it ends in a vowel, you add s. If it doesn't end in a vowel, you add es. So the plural of mayor would be mayores. So the oldest ones, let's say you need the oldest ones of these kids to participate in this category, an older category. And you say, necesitamos a los mayores, the older ones. The older ones for girls would be las mayores, or los mayores could be the oldest. It could be the older ones. It could be the oldest ones. Los mayores or las mayores. Now for the youngest, el menor or la menor. If you say yo soy el menor, I'm the youngest. It could also be I'm the younger one. Yo soy el menor, I am the younger one. My sister is the youngest. You'd say mi hermana es la menor. Es la menor. But if there are just two of you, obviously to have a superlative, you have to have, three or more. If you're comparing two, it's tall or taller. You can't say somebody is the tallest of the two. You have to have three or more to go to the superlative, to the EST. So that's why when you say mi hermana es la menor, it could mean my sister is the younger, like of the two of us. But if there are three or more kids in the family and you say mi hermana es la menor, then it would mean my sister is the youngest. So remember, with superlative, we're talking about three or more to get to the EST, tallest. You can't say John is the tallest of the two. It just cannot be done. It's incorrect. It's poor grammar. You can say John is the taller of the two. John es el más alto de los dos. But if you want to say John es el más alto de los tres, now you're saying John is the tallest of the three. So you see how that works? All right, there's some more examples, further examples on your PDF. El mejor estudiante de la clase, the best student in the class. What would we say if that were a female? La mejor estudiante de la clase. Now, if I wanted to say the best students of the class, plural, I would say los mejores estudiantes de la clase. Let's say you're teaching at a private girls' Catholic school and you want to say the best students of the class. Now it would be las mejores estudiantes de la clase. Now, the prettiest beach in the world, la playa más linda or la playa más bonita del mundo. La playa más linda del mundo. If you want to say the prettiest beaches, plural, in the world, it would be las playas más lindas del mundo. Once again, we have adjective agreement. Lindas, back to the plural feminine playas. The last further example, el libro más interesante de todos, the most interesting book of all. El libro más interesante de todos. Okay, so if we wanted to say the most interesting books of all, we would go from el libro to los libros. Más stays the same. And how do you make interesante plural? If a word ends in a vowel, you add s. If it doesn't end in a vowel, you add es. Easy. Los libros más interesantes de todos. The most interesting books of all. Point number 4. When in English we say the prettiest girl in the class, the tallest boy in the school, etc., a de phrase must be used in Spanish. Do not say en la clase, as if translating literally from English. This is the last part of a superlative statement. Examples. The prettiest girl in the class, la chica más bonita de la clase. The tallest boy in the school, el chico más alto de la escuela. And the best in the world, el mejor del mundo or la mejor del mundo. Like Djokovic from Croatia, what an incredible tennis player, the best in the world, el mejor del mundo. All right, so let's see if we can digest this. Let's go back now and review our superlatives. Superlatives are the EST form of the adjective in English, like tallest, biggest, prettiest, okay? And there are some irregular ones like best and oldest and youngest. And so to do them, we take the el, la, los, or las, we take mas, and then we take our adjective, and of course the adjective agrees. Now remember, to use the superlative, you have to have 3 or more. It could be people or objects. Like if you're talking about the tallest of the city, buildings, obviously there's going to be more than 2 buildings in a city. El más alto de la ciudad. the tallest in the city. Our examples again were the prettiest. La más bonita would be for a girl. If you want to say the tallest for a guy, it'd be el más alto. Remember, this is a 3-step process. You have your el, la, los, or las, agreeing with the noun that you're talking about. Then you have your más, and then you have your adjective. Now, could you say la chica más bonita? Of course. But if you just say la más bonita, it means the prettiest. If you say la chica más bonita, it means the prettiest girl. Our exceptions are the best, el or la mejor, the oldest, el or la mayor, and the youngest, el or la menor. Remember we said if you use mayor or menor with 2 people, then the translation would not be the oldest and the youngest, because you can't have an est, you can't have a superlative with 2 people. You can have the comparative form of the adjective, which is the er. So if I want to say, my sister is the older one, mi hermana es la mayor. Okay? I am the younger one, yo soy el menor. Okay? But if there's 3 or more kids in the family, you want to say I am the youngest, you would say the same thing, el menor. Yo soy el menor. Okay? Now, point 4 is really important. When you say actually what the group is that you're comparing it to, like in the class or at school or in the world, then you need to have a day phrase. La chica más bonita de la clase, el chico más alto de la escuela, el o la mejor del mundo. Okay, that'll wrap it up for lesson number 56, Superlatives. This is Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.